What's up, Hard and Hustle family? It's been a while. I haven't been able to do a video in a while. I've been really busy at work. Excuse me. But I'm off on Friday because of Good Friday and then Easter weekend. So I'm gonna do a video while I got some downtime. I just want to say that I appreciate my new subscribers. Thanks for subscribing, and we're halfway there. 100 subscribers, and I'll do a free giveaway or something for a vinyl pack or something. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on difference between an outline cut and a contour cut. So show you the difference on those two things. And then I'm going to show you how to take a JPEG from any picture that you find online that you want to use. So for your personal use only, all right? I'm going to show you how to take a JPEG from the internet, find a picture that you want to use for your personal use only, all right? And then put it into Adobe Illustrator and make it a vector, clean it up so that you will be able to use it with LXI Expert, all right? So stick around and I'll get back to you and I'm going to show you the difference between an outline and a contour cut. Okay, now that I got my LXI open up, I'm going to show you how to do different the different fonts, the different effects for the font. So I'm going to show you the outline, which is this one right here, and the contour cut. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is just write a simple text in here. So we'll start with this one. And then once you get it, once you write it and you want to resize it, you can either highlight the whole thing and then come over here and change it here, or what I like to do is just come here to the arrow and then it's going to highlight the whole thing and then you can just stretch it out. Alright, so the first effect I'm going to show you is, we'll start with the outline. So here's the outline right here. So it's as you can see, it's black letters with the green outline. Alright, then you could change the size of the outline however big you want to make it. So I'm gonna get it about right there. And then you could do the number of outlines. So it has 1 right now, 2, 3, but we're gonna go with 1. Or so the same thing here, it has this up and down arrow where you can change it, or it has this little knob right here, button, to where you can just pull it and resize it there also. So let me show you what this one is. So once you get your font the way you want, all right, okay, make sure you hit the check mark once you get it to where you want. If you don't hit the check mark, it's not going to do the outline. So apply it, and there it is. Right. All right, so once you got it, you hit the check mark, you're good to go. Remember where your cutter is starting at. Mine starts on this bottom left over here, so you're going to want to put it down here. You don't want to leave it up here in the middle, because then you're going to lose all of this vinyl right here. You will lose, right? Because it's going to start this bottom left hand cutter, then in the bottom left hand corner, and your blade is going to come all the way up here and start cutting. So make sure you move your font to where you want it. Once you get it there, once I get it to where I want it, I'm gonna resize. I'm not gonna make it that big. So say I want a 12-inch piece. I'm just gonna resize this down. I don't know. We'll just put it like right here. That's how big I'm gonna make this. Because up here it looks good, but I want it to be about that size. All right. So I got it. Now here's where you have the panel right here. This is where it's gonna show you your 2 different cuts. Right. So here's the black, and the reason it's flipped backwards is because this would be for heat transfer, right? Because whenever you do heat transfer, you have to make sure that you flip it, so whenever you put it on a t-shirt, it's not backwards, right? So if you were just doing a sticker, you would do it this way, because the sticker is gonna stick the same way you cut it, all right? But adhesive, HTV, the heat transfer vinyl, you have to flip it. Don't forget. I've done it a couple times. So here's the black that's gonna cut right here. And then here is the green. So the green, as you can see, has the outline. It's just the outline. And then in the middle is where the black is going to go. Let me show you. So if I hit this icon right here, Let me go back here. All right, and I hit send all colors. You'll see the black inside the green now. So it's gonna cut both. So I don't like to do that because I've had times where I put black in there and it cuts both of them and then I waste black. So what I'm gonna do is here. So here's the green outline, all right? And then here's the black, all right? So that is what an outline is. And then let me show you what, right? So now I'm gonna show you the other effect. It's going to be the contour cut. So here's the contour. We don't want it that big. We're just gonna, same thing with this. You could grab this button and move it however big you want it. You want a big one. So, all right, we'll just go about right there. And then you could do it. So this one, the difference between this one and the other one is this is going to be a solid background, all right? So the outline is going to cut the background on the outline. It's going to cut the background and cut the word out of it. In the long, whenever you go to cut it, it could leave a gap between the two colors. So say you put this on a gray shirt. With the outline, the first one that we did, the green is going to cut out the black. Is going to cut out the black. So whenever you press it, you may say it's a green and black on a gray shirt. So you might see some gray in between where these don't overlap, right? Because remember the vinyl will shrink a little bit, right? With the contour cut, the one that we're doing right now, it's a solid piece in the back, so you won't have a gap between the black and the green. It's going to be a solid green black back, and then the black is going to go on top of that. And I'll show you. So we could do it here. It also says with or so with holes. So if you don't click it, it's without holes. If you do click it, it's going to have holes. So if you look at the E and the A, everything that could have a hole, now watch this. So now it has holes in between all of that, right? Then you could change, the bigger you make it, the less the hole is going to be. The smaller you make it, the bigger the hole will be. Depends on how big you want to make the background on this word. So I'm just going to go a little bit bigger. So we'll go right there so that we can still see some holes. And again, don't forget to hit this check mark right here so that it will apply to it. Now that we got that set, we'll click it, move it to where we want it. Then I'm going to make it smaller. Okay. Make it smaller. We'll go right there. All right, so here's the black that's going to cut, and then when we look at the green, there's the green. As you can see, when we did the outline, there was a cut mark inside of each letter where the black was going to lay. So on this one is different. The black is actually going to lay on top of the green. So here's how it would look if you click this second icon in the LXI Expert, and we do all colors, and then we look at the preview. Here's how it looks. The other one looked like this because it was going to cut the outline only, but this one we're not doing the outline, we're actually doing a contour, so it's going to sit on top of this one right here. All right, so that's the difference between an outline cut and a contour cut. All right, so now I'm going to show you how I hope that helped anybody. Oh, let me show you one more thing on how to resize. All right, so I had a question on that too. So the way I do it is say a customer wants, say they want a shirt, or say they want a sticker on something like this right here. Say they want a sticker on this right here, right? So I would measure this by this, right? And I would get an approximate size and be like, okay, this thing is 5 inches wide by 4 inches height, and they want a sticker to go inside of that. So I would resize this for 5 inches, right? Oh, went upside down. So I would resize this to 5 inches and resize it to 4. Let's come down a little bit. So you really can't, if you look at it, you're like, well, I really can't see it. You can hit this button right here And what it's going to do is it's going to zoom in, but it's zooming into this whole piece that you have open. So how do you resize this so you could see this better? All right, let me show you. So right now, if you look at the Design Central, let me close it so I can show you how to open it. So you're going to come up here to View. You're going to come right here to Design Central. So you got your Design Central open, right? And the Design Central is going to work with whatever you have clicked. So right now I have Heart and Hustle clicked. So it's showing me, so right now it's showing me the height and the length of it, right? So how do I get the background small so I could see this bigger? Let me show you. So you don't have to close out Design Central and then reopen it to try to get the background. All you have to do is click the background and then watch I'm sorry. So click the background and then you're going to see the Design Central change its size, all right? So now we're on 36 by 24, which is my background, 36 by 24, all right? So if I go back to this and it's 3 by 3, so I want to change the background. You can highlight the whole thing, hit a 4, enter, hit a 4, enter, and then you'll be able to see the whole thing. And if it's still too big, you can use your up and down arrows and click that, all right? Just so that you could see it. And then you could come here, like right now it's too stretched out. We can move it down, look at it. However, until you get it the way you want, and just keep messing with it. And it's gonna show real big. And that's good because then you can see what you're working with and how it's gonna look. And if you look the actual size, you want to move it back down to this corner. Always to the corner to save as much vinyl as you can. Then you can see the actual size. So if you go off the top of the lettering will be with these little squares up here. So it's 2 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So that's how I do it. And then again, when you hit that, it'll show you the preview over here. There's the black. There's the green. So then I add a weed border in there. So once I cut it, I'll add this little weed border around the edge. And then it'll be ready to cut. It'll be ready to weed and put down. Always remember to always know what you're putting it on. If you're doing a sticker, it has to go this way because the back of it's adhesive. If you're doing a heat transfer vinyl, backwards, because the outside is what sticks to the garment. And then you got the shiny side that faces up, but you don't cut the shiny side, all right? So just keep that in mind. All right, so I hope that helped you. Now I'm going to show you how I use a JPEG. Don't want to save it. Now I'm going to show you how I use a JPEG to make a vector to use with this program right here, all right? So close that out. Here's what I'm going to be doing right here. I'm going to be doing an Easter shirt. So first thing I'm going to do is they want this bunny right here on a shirt, which is already on a shirt. But since I'm using it for personal use, I can use it, all right? So in Adobe Photoshop, I added the photo on here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take this square tool right here, and I'm going to highlight what I want. So I got what I want right there, and then I'm going to right click, copy, no. So what I would do is Control C. Control C to copy it. And then I'm going to come here again, and I'm going to open a new one. I'm going to open a US paper 8 by 11. There it is. Then I'm going to come back over here and paste it in there. All right. Then I'm going to transform it or make it bigger. So I would Control T. All right. And then with the Alt button, hold down the Alt button so you can resize the whole thing at the same time. All right. You can get I'm going to go ahead and do it 8 by 12 or 8 by 11, whatever it is. And then hit the check mark. So if you've done this before, you know that you can't cut a JPEG because it's going to be pixelated, and you want to put it into a photo, not Photoshop, but you want to put it into Adobe Illustrator to make it to a vector. So now that I got it here, I'm going to save it as a SVG file. Save as, I'll just name it Bunny. put it as a PNG. So I put it as a PNG file, save it, saved. I already have Adobe Illustrator open. Then I'm going to grab this bunny and I'm going to drop it into Adobe Illustrator. All right. So how I turn it into a vector. I click the picture. It's going to, as you can see, outline the whole picture right here. All right. Then you're going to hit image trace. Hit image trace. It's going to do its magic and it's going to trace the whole image. And then I'm going to show you how to clean it up, because I try to get as many, I try to have as many points or whatever they're called. I try to have few points so that it cuts a lot smoother. So the next thing I want to do is come up here and hit this, the image trace panel. I'm going to ignore the white and then I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I usually just turn these up and then it cleans it up somewhat. But then whenever you get ready to expand it, you're going to see all these points in there. So if you look at all these points, that's a lot of them. So I don't see the need for all of these points in here. So what I usually do is I come right here and I hit the smooth tool. Let me pick something. Let me zoom back out. Alright, so now this is what I'm going to be working with, right? So with all those points that are in there, there's a lot of points. So what I usually do is I use a mouse. So I'll come in here and I'll click this ear right here. You're going to see all these points, right? So you grab the smooth tool and you just come in here and start moving it around. As you can see, all these points in here are going to go away with the smooth tool. And it puts very little in there. And it makes your lines a whole lot better when you're cutting them. So here's the next one. I'm going to do this ear. I'm going to come into the inside. You see all these points. I don't need that many. Come in here. You don't have to be precise with it. Just try to get it on there close enough. It's easier to use a mouse than to use your finger with the mouse pad. So, but whatever you have, use what you have, you know. So I'm going to do that to all these pieces. Smooth them all out. Bear with me. The glasses, a lot of points in there. You don't need all these. A lot of these lines are straight. They're not a lot of bends and stuff to where you need to actually have all these. Don't forget the inside, that piece right here. Smooth tool, outline it, get them to go away. The nose, smooth them out. Each whisker, you have to do each whisker. Then when I get done with this, I'll show you quickly how I cut it, and I could put it on a shirt for you. So smooth all these out. Two more. Alright, now when you get done, you can always come up here, zoom in, look at each piece, see if there's anything in there that you want to take out. I'll smooth this one out of there so it's only one. The tip of this, tip of the ear, Can go around and just click around to see what's smooth, what's not smooth. So that looks good. Those look good. I'm gonna smooth out the tip of this. This one here. They're whiskers, so they don't have to be perfectly straight. They're whiskers. Whiskers aren't really straight anyways. Alright, so now that I got it, zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Oops. Alright, so here's the whole thing right here. Oops. I'm not trying to paint it. So once you get it to what you like, when you like what you see. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do, make sure I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit File, Save As. And you want to save, to use it with LXI Expert, you want to make sure that you save it as a SVG file. And I'm going to go ahead and just put it in this OSS file folder that I have. Save it in there. Hit OK. Minimize, right? So here's my bunny one right here, right? So get the bunny, then I'm going to come down to LXI Expert. I'm going to go down to the control panel with the toolbar at the bottom. Just highlight it and it'll pop open and dump it in there. Alright, so the next thing is with the LXI Expert is come here and click. I want to highlight the whole thing, sorry. So we're going to highlight the whole thing, alright? And right now it's all one single piece. So we have the outline, and if I leave this outline in there, it's gonna get cut. So what I want to do is, I could probably leave it in there just to do the weed line, the weed border, but I'm gonna take it out. So what I usually do is come here, come to Arrange, and go to Group, and then Ungroup All. So when you ungroup all, now you have individual pieces that you could move around. And if you do, how do you put them back? Control Z. Just keep hitting Control Z until you put everything back in its place. Control Z is undo. Alright, so now that I got this, I'm just going to highlight the whole thing so I can see this line. So now if you look, the outline, this is what I want to take away. So once you have this outlined, just hit delete. Alright. Alright, so now I have the whole thing ready to go. I can come back up here to arrange, arrange, group, and then group all. Or you could just leave it there, highlight the whole thing, and Control G. And now the whole thing is back together. Alright, so this is going to go on a black t-shirt. And this one, it really doesn't matter. There's no words, so it doesn't matter how you cut it. Depends on what ear you want higher than the other. So what I'm going to do, the big thing is like stuff that would be backwards, that like a hand or something. You want to put a left hand, and then it's on the right side, and the thumb is on the outside like this instead of like this. So let me turn this on. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen that I like to buy bigger rolls like this, thick rolls or bigger rolls, and I was having a problem with the cutter cutting it crooked. Well, I had one of my subscribers tell me to turn down the speed, and after I did that, I had no more problems. So I appreciate that. Thank you. I forgot what his name was, but he's been giving me a lot of tips, so I appreciate that. By turning down the speed, I think the speed was like 600. I went ahead and I've turned it down to 200, and I haven't had any problems since then. So I'm going to go ahead and send this over to the cutter, and I'll show you how it cuts. Alright, so here's my R Series 2, so everybody knows that I'm really using the R Series 2. It's online, you just can't see because of the light, but it is online. I got my got my vinyl set up to where I want it to start. Maybe I can move it out a little bit. Okay. I'll leave the speed at 200. I'm gonna put the pressure about 120. Alright, now I got it cut. I'm gonna go ahead and weed this out. Weed it out. Oh, let me show you this lamp that I bought right here. This one. Being left-handed and my plug being on the left hand, when I was trying to weed stuff out, I couldn't see because of the shadow of my hand. But I went and picked this one up at IKEA. $10 for this lamp right here. And it works out good. I could turn it on. I could put it directly over what I'm working with. And I don't have to worry about the shadow of my hand getting in the way. So let's weed this out. Then we'll go ahead and print it on there, right? Get it put onto the shirt. I got this piece left right here. I'm gonna cut it out, save it, use it later on down the road. So what I usually do is just come in here, got that piece cut out, and I can save it. My leftovers. I went and bought this from IKEA also. I'll show you in a minute. Some other stuff that I bought from IKEA that my wife saw on Pinterest. So to put my vinyl in, put my leftover pieces in. Let me just get these edges off. Make sure you got all your everything that is gone that needs to be weeded. Make sure you got it off so you don't have to go back with an iron like I had to last time and take it back off. But everything looks good. Alright, so there it is right there. It looks pretty good. The piece that's going to go on the shirt. Alright. So here's one of the things that I bought right here for my vinyl. It's one of these. I think this is for, like, you put bags in there when you come back from the grocery store, and then when you need them, you pull them out. But my wife saw on Pinterest that they use these for this. So I picked one up. Actually, I picked up one, two, I got 3 of them, plus that one 4. And then I used to keep all my leftover pieces in this right here. I used to keep all my leftover pieces in here, but now I use it for trash. and I bought this one also from IKEA. So all my leftover pieces, I put them in here. So whenever I need a little piece, I have leftovers. And as you can see, it's pretty full. Bunch of different colors in there. This is what I use. I'm not sure what you use, but that's what I use. That and this so far. All right, let's my temperature's on. The heat press. It's already there, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep it and get ready to press this on a shirt. I'll show you how I use the T-square to put that on there. Alright, so I already have my t-shirt on there. I told you it's gonna be a black shirt with the white bunny. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is give it a quick press. Just to get that out of there. Man, I need to grease this thing. Alright. So I'm gonna show you how I use the T-square real quick. That's what I usually do. I'm using one hand today. The kids are at school on Friday, so doing it by myself. So anyways, I usually put this arrow, sorry if I'm all jacked up, but so I use this right here. So I use this right here, and I put this first arrow on there. Put the arrow on there, and then I get the other piece backwards. So anyways, here we go. Put this piece on there, this arrow to there, put this one, slide it up, and what I look for is to make sure that this 8.5 is on this seam right here, and the 8.5 over here is a little bit off. So you move it over just a little bit. It's a little off. Over here, it's about right. So it's close enough. It doesn't have to be exact. Funky picture. What I usually do right here is, they say the 3-hand rule, the 3-finger rule, I'm sorry, 3-finger rule, or 3 inches. So if I go 3 inches, I place my bunny on there. Then you want to make sure, so you know what, you should be able to tell where the middle of this is, either the middle of the nose or the middle of the glasses. So if you have this lined up with here, this center line right here will be the center of the t-shirt, alright? So line up the glasses and the nose. And I'm going to go 2 inches down instead of 3 because this is a big piece. So sorry if it's all, I'm trying to look at the shirt without looking through the phone, so I might be off filming something else. So now I got it on there where I'm going to put it. I'm going to pause this video so I can use both hands to take out the T-square and line it up one more time. Alright, give me a second. Alright, so I'm back. Here it is. So I ended up going like 1.5 inches down, and I got my piece out. Now I got this out the way, so let me show you. So if you look here, it's about 1.5 inches instead of the full 3 inches, because it's just an ear. It's just an ear. It's not like the main part. Then there's the rest of it, pretty much centered up. Center of the nose, center of the glasses, and we're still sitting at 8.5 and 8.5. So I mean, if it's off by 1/4 inch, it is what it is. Quick press real quick, and since it's just one color, I'm gonna go ahead and put it here, and I'm gonna clamp this thing down. Alright, I needed both hands to clamp that down, so countdown's going. As soon as it gets done, it'll open up. Popped up. Hot pill. And there it is. There it is. White bunny on a black shirt. So what I like to look for is when after I press the shirt is to see if I can see the shirt through the vinyl, and that's how I know I have a good press and it won't peel up later on. So if you see that right here, you can see the indentation of the shirt through the vinyl. That's one thing I look for. Again, there's the whole shirt right there. I think someone's at the door because the dog's going crazy. So I'll be right back. Alright, Hard and Hustle family, I told you I was going to do a quick tutorial, but like always, it's not quick. I just try to get in there and explain some of the features of LXI Expert. If anybody else is out there is using this R Series 2 vinyl cutter and they need some help with it, I know there's hardly any videos online, so I'm still learning it. I've learned a lot about it, but if there's something I can help you with, just let me know. We could work through it together and figure it out. But till next time, this is Hard and Hustle Printing. Keep pressing. Until next time. See you later.